Hello students, today on a foot in a field with Mr. Lujan, we are on the Big Laguna Trail. This is about 45 to an hour from Otay, and it is probably one of my favorite hikes within the county. Around us, we have a multitude of different species. Everything from big pines like this, right, to oaks right there in the distance, and to manzanitas, those bright little ones up on the hill. Okay, we'll have to find some of those and we'll talk about some interesting facts about all three. All three of those species of plants are something we can find here in San Diego County, and all make for very interesting learning. Big Laguna, here we are. All right, class. So what we have here is a large pine tree, and if you notice, burrowed in this pine tree, there are thousands of these little holes, okay? And those holes are dug in by none other than your friendly woodpecker. Oh, look at this. That's how you store your acorns, kids. If you don't have a checking account, savings account, ask your parents to open you one up ASAP. Well, 6th grade, we've made it to the summit here at Sunset Loop Trail in Laguna, and we're approaching some finer shrubbery behind us. You can see this is all the chaparral in this view. It has everything down from the mountaintops down in Mexico all the way north to Palomar Mountain and the San Jacintos in the north. Now, this is about 20 to 30 minutes away from where I went to 6th grade camp at Lake Cuyamaca, and probably about another 45 to an hour where we would have been going at Camp Marson and Julian. All right, class, so right here behind me, we have what is called the manzanita tree, and these trees grow between 4 and 20 feet. They're found in shrub and chaparral types of environments, which is very much Southern California, and they have a thin red bark on the inside that is very bitter tasting. And this one right here, as you can see, it's green, but it changes with the seasons. And right now, because we are in the spring, it is blooming. And this is a very common shrub tree that we find in our region. All right, so right behind me, we have what is called an oak tree. Live oak, coastal oak. I think it's a live oak. Coastals are a little bit more widespread out, but some fun facts about oak trees are, did you know they're not really considered old until they're about 700 years old? Also, they can grow up to be 180 feet tall. Some of our largest oaks, they have acorns that have a waxy and very bitter toxic shell that help them prevent fungus and other harmful bacteria and other harmful animals going in and eating them, though some animals and people are clever enough to break the shell and use the insides for food, similar to the holes that we saw with the woodpecker, the squirrels that we see that go in and rob the woodpeckers. And then we also see that people have used acorns for different types of flowers and food materials at home. Another interesting fact about oak trees is they have a waxy covering on the inside that's kind of like a blood red, and if you were to peel back that bark, that waxy cover actually helps prevent it during fires. And oak trees are very formidable during wildfires, and they actually rely on the nitrogen rich ground that fires create to help grow and continue. So even after fires and even after burns, you might see a really dark bark and just burnt tree, but it'll still blossom and still glow bright green. Pretty similar to what has happened to this one here. Good? All right, so behind me we have our pine trees. And our pine trees at the highest elevations in San Diego are very common. Some interesting facts about the pine trees is that their pine cones, right, are the hard shells that they create to seed, their seed pods. And during a fire, what's gonna happen is these pine cones are going to catch on fire, and with inside they're going to release the seeds, and those seeds help the pine tree procreate. And they're actually pine seeds, and pine nuts are the same thing that you could use for cooking when you eat pesto. There's a lot of pine nuts in pesto if you like pesto, but also these pine cones make a nice decorative thing that we have around the holidays, okay? Some of other fun facts about pine trees is they have a lot of sap in their tree. So when you put the pine wood in the fire and you hear that crack, pop, boom, snap, a lot of that's just that sap heating up, popping and cracking. So another fun fact is that the Douglas fir is one of the strongest hardwood trees in America, if not the world, and they are used to build some of our strongest structures that depend on wood. All right, and this is the trail entrance for our meadow loop. They've got a little sign here telling us that we are entering a working landscape. Also note, practice social distancing. We passed a few people on the trail. And right here, nice little trail map. You should always take a photo of this before you go on your hike, or have it with you, just because that's noted to maintain safety as you go on your trips in case you get lost. Joining us on the trip is an old lifeguard friend, now San Diego firefighter Kyle Scarry. Thank you for filming.